Hello, hi, I'm Kate Anderson. I am going to be sharing today in this video Dr. Fishman's Yoga for Osteoporosis, Series 1. Dr. Fishman did a training this year that I was lucky enough to attend where I got certified in this method. I learned a lot about what he wants us to do with our posture if there is any diagnosis for osteopenia, osteoporosis. And then what yoga poses can you do to become stronger and increase bone density. So also it can be prevention. This video could be good for anybody to try because we want to stay strong at any age. We want to prevent osteopenia, osteoporosis if we can. And then if you're already there, there are things we can do to get stronger, to feel like you can maybe come out of the numbers where you are right now or stay steady or increase your bone density some. So that's what his study has shown. Dr. Fishman has studied this about for 10 years. You can go to his website, sciatica.org, and you can click on osteoporosis and read about this study. People can still join the study, but it has been a long time that he's been looking at this and seeing almost everybody, if they stick to the yoga, their numbers change. So I'll give a brief introduction. If you've seen this video, maybe the second time, the third time, you could skip this introduction. So what are we doing today? We're doing 12 poses that Dr. Fishman prescribes to do them for 30-second holds. So today I'm going to be teaching, I'm going to be talking, and it's hard for me to count at the same time and get it exactly 30 seconds. So the idea is this video is for students who have done some yoga before, that you're just getting used to the flow of getting these poses down to do them on your own. And then even if you're with me, trying it with the video, you could count. You could count to 30. You could sing a little song, you could find a way to time it and to get it to 30 seconds. If you go a little bit over, that's okay too. We wouldn't want to go beyond about a minute or 72 seconds. So Dr. Fishman teaches 3 main things to remember. Don't round your back, try your best, and then do the poses every day. Start somewhere. You're doing them once a week, wonderful. Try twice a week. Try to start increasing it when you're ready, when you can. So I want to just talk briefly in this introduction about rounding your back and how we all can benefit from this introduction. But what happens with osteopenia, osteoporosis, if you have this diagnosis, you're at risk for fractures and you're at risk for the bones just being able to fracture or break more easily. So the number one place where it's the most risky, that's your spine. So your spine, you have vertebrae, in the front. That's kind of the shape they make. They're the circular vertebrae. They stack one on top of each other. And even though you might not feel it when you're rounding and you're going forward, it's very dangerous. So if you have bone that's a little more brittle, a little less dense than it was in the past, so you have osteopenia, osteoporosis. If you're rounding forward, where you're sitting, you're standing, and you're rounding and the vertebrae just keep going like that, you're compressing them. And then where they're squeezing in the front, you're at risk of fracture there. And the fractures could be silent. So it's something that over time you have to be aware of because the fractures can be silent. You don't notice them right away. They aren't painful right away. But as they build up, there can start to be some back pain or some pain in your spine. So I'm going to show this briefly. You do not have to do this. Actually, I'm going to ask you not to do this. Go ahead and just sit, on your floor, sit back in your chair, and just have a nice long spine here to start. So when I say don't round the back, you're most vulnerable. We have a curve, we all want this little curve to come in, and then we have the ribs start and we go the other way. So we curve in and then we curve out a little bit. We all want that. We want the natural curves of the spine. This is the part I don't want you to do. If you round your back and it's sitting, it's standing, that's the most sitting on the floor, chair, or standing. That's the most vulnerable. And if you're rounding the back like this and you're kind of hunched over, that's the place that I mentioned, the vertebrae in the front they can compress. So even though you might be able to do it, and there's no pain right now, the risk is if you keep doing it, the fractures can build up and pain is going to start, which we want to avoid. So don't tell yourself just because, well, it's easy just to round my back. It feels okay. I'm fine doing it. Remember what Dr. Fishman teaches, what I'm helping to teach also, is that we want to be really careful. We want to elongate the spine, and we want to do that in every pose. Okay, so that's just the main introduction. We're working in our yoga practice and in our everyday life, not to hunch over and not to lose that lift of the heart, that curve of the low back curving in, and not to round forward. And there are things that can help you. You know, you could sit up on some cushions. If the hips are tight, sometimes that pulls us forward. So we'll sit up on some cushions, or you could even put a pillow behind you in the chair. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. If you ever want to begin this video at this point, you can. Also, you could start with a warm-up of your own, or start with a little centering, meditating before you start this. You don't have to. Dr. Fishman teaches that we could just go right into the practice. So have a chair close by. If you know a chair helps you with balance, you're going to have it close by. You're going to keep it in front of you. Also, blocks might be handy, and I have a yoga strap over here. There's a couple poses we're going to want a yoga strap for. So again, keep the chair close by if you need to. First thing we'll do is centering in a mountain pose. Let your feet come into parallel. Let your big toes turn in slightly. Check in that the feet are grounded. Could you lift all 10 toes? Ground your feet. Ground the 4 corners. Spread the toes, let the toes come down. Press your feet to the earth. Lift energy up through the legs. Palms can come forward, shoulders roll back. Lifting gently at the core. Lift your pubic bone, lift your navel, draw the tailbone down. Your hips move away from each other, and your tailbone drops between that space. So we're going to keep coming back to this mountain pose. I want you to practice a balance between effort and ease. Then we're going to move right into tree position. You're holding your chair if you need to. Hands come to the heart center. Shift your weight over to the left leg first. Then start to bend your right knee. Let the right knee open out to the side. Doesn't have to go all the way to the side. It can be forward slightly. Right foot to the ankle or the calf. Now keep holding your chair if that helps you keep your foot on your leg. Stare at one point in front of you. Then how do we get our bones stronger here? Push your foot to your leg. Push your leg to your foot. Hands can stay at the heart, or we lift the arms overhead, maybe palms open slightly, facing each other. Push leg to foot. Push your foot to your leg. Navel to spine. Releasing down slowly. We can let this right knee come forward, right foot come down. So hopefully it looks like this at home. I'm going to be your mirror as we keep going in the practice. So now finding balance again. Mountain, hands at the heart or hands at your chair. Shift your weight to the right leg. Bend your left knee. It comes out towards the side. Doesn't have to be exactly to the side. It could be slightly forward. Foot coming up to the ankle, the calf. Don't push on your knee. You're below your knee or you're above your knee. And then where do we find the effort? Even if you're holding the chair, you're doing this. Push your foot to your leg. Push your leg to your foot. Hands can stay at the heart. Or again, we could lift up overhead, palms face each other, shoulders drop back. Keep staring at something for your balance. Pushing foot to leg to foot. That's how we get the legs stronger here. And then releasing it down, coming out, bend that front knee, bring it forward, foot can come down. Okay, come back to mountain position. Check back in. And then releasing the hands, inhale, bring them up. Exhale, let your arms come down, touch your hips or touch your chair. Step the legs out nice and wide. We're going to turn the whole left leg first. So again, if I'm your mirror, your toes point forward to start. Turn the whole left leg 90 degrees. Right toes come in, right heel can press away. That's about 15 or 30 degrees. I talk about the feet and the knees because it's very important that you're safe here. Line up the legs together so the front heel lines up to the back arch. When you start to bend into your front knee, it goes forward, stops over the ankle. Then you also press the knee away. We want to get to a place where maybe this thigh is parallel to the floor. So we go down pretty much as low as we could, keeping that front knee safe. Push into the back foot. Push into the pinky toe side. Good, not falling into the arch, but find where you're strong. Open the arms. Just like mountain, draw the tailbone down, lift the navel. Shoulders shrug back. Good. We can try hands spreading, palms open, fingers spreading, gaze to the left. And then once you're here, check in. Could you squeeze the fingers towards each other? What does that change for you? Good. That's how Dr. Fishman teaches it. Fingers squeezing together. Warrior two. Inhale, straighten the front left leg, not locking it. Hands come down, toes turn forward. Switch sides. Turn the whole right leg to 90. Left toes come in, left heel turns away. Check the legs line up with each other. Same things on this side. Push into that back heel, pinky toe side. Don't fall to the arch. Bend into your front right knee here. Good. Right knee staying over the ankle. Push it out so your knee goes towards the pinky toe side here. So the knee stays in those two directions. We do not want this knee to fall in, but you can turn your ribs and your navel back to the side. Arms open, fingers spread to start. And check in. Could we try Dr. Fishman's method? Push your fingers together. So if I show that, your fingers are together, palms are down, shoulders back, navel lifted, strong legs, and now we're looking to the right. Find your breath. Don't hold your breath in the practice. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, release arms, toes point in. Heel toe or walk your feet in this time. So we'll go back to mountain. I always want you to recenter. It teaches us to take time to transition. Find your focus here. Hands will come to the hips this time. Walk the feet wide. Turn your whole left leg out 90 degrees. Turn the right foot the same way you did before. Right toes in, right heel away. And then now we're going to start to move into a triangle pose. Hold your chair if you need to. Arms open. Shift your tailbone first. We want to shift the tailbone to the right, moving your pelvis. Reach this left hand out over the left foot. Reach to the wall. Don't worry about reaching to the floor. Reach as far as you can. Get that work in the inner thigh. Good. Then keep your spine up. Windmill the arms. Press the back of this left hand to the left leg. You can reach this top right arm up. Push the fingers together again. How does that change our pose? Triangle position. Can we hold it a little bit longer? Bend this knee just a little bit in the front. Inhale up. Exhale, release. Toes in. Switch sides. You can touch your hips or chair. Turn the right leg to 90. Left toes in, left heel away. Good. Straighten the legs without locking. Arms reach out. Push the fingers together here. We'll just start like that. Good. And then from here, tailbone, pelvis to the left. Reach out to the right. Over the right toes, reach to the wall. That's how we get the work in the legs. Keep your spine up. That's as far as you're going with your hips and your spine. Then only change the arms. Windmill the arms. Press the right hand to the right leg. It encourages a little twist here. Push into both feet. How do we get strong? Push to the back foot. Navel to spine. Find your breath. Bend this front knee just a little bit. Inhale, lift up. Straight legs. Toes in. Hands down. Walk it in. Shake it out for a moment. Okay, come back to mountain position. Find your mountain position. Check back in. Hands to the hips. Walk out wide again. So let's go back out to the left leg, 90 degrees. Right toes in, right heel away. Just sticking with the same side first. Bend into your left knee like we did in the beginning, warrior two. Same thing's important. Left knee pressing to the left side, pinky toe side, navel up and in, turn your ribs back to the right. Once you're set and you feel all that strength of warrior two, keep the knee bent. Now send tailbone to the right. Reach your left hand out over that bent left knee. Find where you can bend this elbow, bring forearm to the leg, palm up, right hand to the chair, or it sweeps forward up to the arm, side angle pose. Keep your arm up, but I want to show you something. Each of you work on this, lifting the top left, right ribs, lifting those right ribs up, bottom left ribs coming forward. So we're not facing the floor. Keep bending that front knee, thigh parallel to the floor if you can get it there. Are you breathing? Push into the back foot. Don't lose your back body. Good. Right hand can sweep forward to the chair or the hip. Inhale up. Hands to the hips. Toes in first. Switch sides. Right leg out to 90. Left heel away. Left toes in. Find center. Lift the navel. Good. Bend your right knee. Starting with a similar pose to warrior two. You check the legs just like we did with warrior two. Arms come up. Now tailbone points to the left. Shift your pelvis. Reach to the right. Good. Reach as far as you can over the knee. Bend the elbow. Bring your forearm down. Right hand up. Sweep forward with the left arm up. So we get a long line from the left leg to the left ribs. Again, keep your arm up. But I want to show you, it's these top left ribs. Lift up. Bring them back so we stay in a long line here. Don't face the floor. Good. Breathing. Left arm forward to the chair, the hip. Inhale up. Slowly straighten the leg. Hands to the hips. Hands down. Toes in. Heel toe or walk your feet in. Okay, let's come back to mountain pose here briefly. Reset. Take a breath. Okay, and then you're going to come to the top of your mat. So you're going to turn, so you're facing the top of your mat. Go ahead and put your blocks or put your chair, I'll show both, on the left side. So this is how I would want you to set up. If you have the chair, if you have the blocks, if you're not sure, set them both up. And then again, I'm going to be your mirror. So if we're facing each other, and you're watching this video, turn to your left where you set everything up. Walk yourself up close to the blocks, close to the chair. Recenter, big toes in. Hips move away from each other. Lift the navel, reach up tall through the spine. Find your balance between effort and ease. Now the hands come down, touch the hips. I want you to step the left foot back first, finding your warrior one. Good, that right knee is in front. Warrior one position, the feet are normally about 3 feet apart, 3.5 feet. Feet are on separate tracks. So the left foot could be a little closer to the left side. You could even bend the knee, stop over the ankle just to feel that. Then you have the right foot a little closer to the right side. Heel is back, so we're on a pivot there. Straighten the leg, go slow with this without locking your legs. Feel the right hip come back, guide your left hip forward. So again, I want to try not to turn to the side, but face the chair or blocks. Right hip back, left hip forward. Push into the back edge of the back foot. Inhale tall. Exhale, hinge at the hips where you're touching. Spine stays long, shoulders on your back. Then from here, start to release your left hand either to the chair or to the block. And if you have the block, we probably bring it in pretty close. So it's under the shoulder, close to that right foot. Now, also same thing with the chair. If you have the chair closer, you could touch the low part or touch the high part. Okay, navel up and in, you're twisting right. Inhale tall, exhale, turn your ribs right. Inhale tall, exhale, turn your chest right. Hand could be on the low back. Good, keep twisting around to the right. Don't lose your navel, keep that. And then draw this right hip back, left hip forward. Shoulder shrug back. If you go any further with it, right hand to the heart first. Where does your elbow point up? Only open from that elbow. Don't force your arm back. Maybe push the fingers together again. Find your breath. Find the full pose. Revolved triangle. Again, it could also look like this. Great job, everybody. Bend your front knee. Hand comes down. Let that front knee bend just over the ankle. Then come hands to hips, long spine. Inhale up. Walk your back foot in carefully. Shake it out. Okay, you can stay facing this side. If you want to see me a little bit better and make sure you can see the screen, you'll flip with me. So then you would take your chair or take your block or two, and bring it down to the floor. And again, even here, we want to be really careful not to just round the back and rearrange things. So if you could see, I was bending at my hips, bending at my knees, keep the spine long and try to rearrange. So it's all, not just the 12 poses. It's all something information we want to integrate. So you're back at mountain pose with your blocks, with your chair. Check back in, hands at the hips. Now this time you're stepping back your right foot. Your left leg can be in front. Get the feet on train tracks. So the left leg goes to the side slightly. Right heel turns back, the toes are turning in. So you're at a pivot in the back. It's not perfect, but it's like your right toes point towards that top corner of your mat, or maybe off to the side even slightly more. I did this on the other side. You could bend your left knee just to feel the legs are in good position. And then that also gives you a reminder, if you need a break, you could keep that left knee bending a little bit to take a break. Straighten the left leg. Now for you here, it's your left hip going back, right hip coming forward. So not forcing it, but feeling that we don't want to face the side. We're going back to the chair or the blocks. Inhale, tall. Exhale, hinge at the hips where you're touching. That front knee can bend a little bit, as long as we're not locking it. We're careful bending it slightly. Now it's your right hand to the chair or the block. Left hand to the sacrum, the low back. Okay, and it's all about a long spine. So stay here if that's better for your long spine. If you're going to the floor, to the block, it's closer to the foot. Everybody works this, navel up and in. Squeezing navel, turn ribs to the left. Inhale tall, turn your chest to the left. Good, so you're twisting to the left this second time. Adding your heart, your chest, and then the left hand touches the heart, point the elbow. Even if it's forward and that's where you see it, that's the opening of your heart. Don't force your arm back. You want to go deeper? It's your twist. Lift the navel, twist your vertebrae. Keep lengthening tailbone to crown, sending that left hip back. Good. Keep active in the back right foot, pinky toe side. Okay, and I want you to bring hand to the hip when you come out. Bend your left knee. Both hands come back to the hips, long spine. Inhale, let's come up. Walk the back foot up. Shake it out. Wiggle it out. Good. And we're coming down to the floor. So how do we do that carefully with really good posture? Come down, one knee, then the other. Touch your chair if that's helpful. Take your second hand, take your first hand down, then your second hand down. And then we're going to lay on our bellies, come down to a crocodile position. So once you get into crocodile, you can rest briefly. Our next pose we're going to do is locust pose. If you need a break from locust, you could go into cobra. So crocodile first, we rest our head down. Locust position, hands come back alongside you, palms face each other. Find your breath. Center your pelvis, press your feet down. Okay, now without turning the head, keep your head down, just lifting up the head an inch or two. Inhale, forehead, chest, arms. Exhale, lift the legs. Now you could absolutely stay here or interlace the hands Keep pressing legs together. Press through the balls of the feet, lifting your hands up and away, shoulders on your back, strong navel, still lengthening the spine, chin is soft, gazing up in front of your mat. When you're ready to release locust, hands come down carefully, crocodile briefly. When you press back up to table, hands underneath, lift your belly, lift your low navel. Well, lift the whole navel, that's what I should say. Lift your navel, inhale, come up to table. Okay, now we're gonna take a seat. Again, we're just gonna review these main 12 poses here together today. So once you take a seat, we're gonna stretch the legs out. Now for most of us here, what we need is to sit up a little higher. So what happens if the hips are tight or your back is tight? Again, don't do this, but it could be that you just naturally are rounded and the hips being tight can do that to us. So please get a firm pillow, get a blanket, get something to sit up on. Because if your back is rounding, then what we're doing, it's not useful. It's just really not. We wouldn't want to be there with the back rounded. Okay. So I'm going to trust that you're here, sitting up tall, shoulders on your back. We're going to go right into another twist. Bend your right knee first. Good. Decide where you can take it. Maybe it's forward. That's fine. If you're able to, we get it in pretty close to the body. Then we could stay here, left leg active. Or some of you might be able to take the right leg and bring it to the other side. So you're starting with your right leg. Take your left arm or the hand and wrap it around the leg, hug it close. You can turn your ribs, turn your belly to the right. Take the right arm up, back and around, bring it close to you. Touch the floor so we're not leaning back, but it's like a kickstand. We use it to come up tall. Now keep pushing that right foot to the floor. If your big toe is not down, then you come back here. Okay, keep pushing your big toe down wherever you are. Inhale tall, exhale, turn ribs to the right. Inhale tall, exhale chest to the right. Keep wrapping around, gazing to the right. We're just going to pause here with this first twist. This is where most of my students are. We're not going to add any binding. Maybe we'll talk about it next year. Inhale tall, exhale deepen. Soften your chin. Inhale tall, exhale deepen. Keep breathing. Good. Inhale tall, exhale, release around to the front. Stretch your legs out. Scoop up the left knee. Same thing here. You have to be honest with yourself. Can you keep the left foot grounded here, wherever it is, how close to you, or the left leg coming out to the right side? If your toes lift off, that's not where we're grounded. So you would want to come back here. So just be honest with yourself. There's no right or wrong. We want the pose, we want the practice to be useful. Shoulders on your back, start to wrap that right elbow, or it could just be your hand, or the right elbow around. Inhale, left arm up, back and around. Sitting tall, hand behind you. Good. Inhale tall, exhale ribs to the left. Inhale tall, exhale chest to the left. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, wrapping around to the left. Keep pushing that left foot down. Keep growing tall through the crown of the head, chin soft. We gaze to the left. Breathing deeply. Inhale tall and exhale, release around. Take the feet out, shake them out. So now we do another seated twist. Like I said, there is some binding, some changes we can make to the arms. We'll probably work on that a little bit more next year. So same twist if you need it. Right knee comes in. Then if anybody could add to it, maybe the right foot goes to the side. If that's feeling like you can stay grounded, the foot is down. We might progress it at this point to lean to the left, bend the left knee, and bring that foot back. So I'm not sitting on the foot, it's just kind of next to my hip. And then you still have to keep both sit bones grounded so the pelvis pushes down and that right foot is on the floor. So if I turn, just so you see me a little bit better, that left leg is under, right foot is over. The foot has to be down. If this doesn't happen for you yet, totally fine. It might never happen. You just stretch this left leg back out, go to where you were for that first pose. Okay, so it's going to be similar no matter where you are with your legs. The similar direction for the spine. Sit bones grounded. Inhale tall. Left arm first, wraps around the leg. Right arm up, back, and around. Stay grounded on the sit bones. Don't lean to the left. Stay on both sides. Wrap your ribs to the right. Inhale tall. Wrap your chest to the right. Inhale tall. Keep wrapping around, gazing to the right. Imagine if you let go of your right leg, it would still hug to your body. That's how strong we want to pull it. Push your pelvis down, your sit bones down. Reach up through the crown. Keep looking to the right. Keep breathing. Good. Inhale tall. Exhale, releasing around. You're working up to 30 seconds, doing these for 30 seconds on your own. Stretch the legs out first. If your hands go behind you, squeeze shoulders back so we stay tall. Shake the legs. Okay, one more side. You can keep your right leg long to start. Left knee comes in this time. You can bring it close. You could have it to the outer side. If your foot is down and this is starting to feel like you can try something different, leaning a little bit over towards your right. So I'm not mirroring you here. We all twisted right first, and then we're going to twist left. So now it's your right arm wrapping around that knee. If this doesn't work to stay on both sit bones to keep this hip down, go back to where you were for that first seated twist. Inhale tall, exhale ribs left. Inhale tall, exhale chest left. Good, and that hand, if we didn't do it yet, put it behind you. Shoulders back, hand right behind you, close to your spine. Stay on both sit bones, whatever twist you're in. Gaze over to the left. And don't let go of your leg, but imagine if we did. You would still be hugging it tight. Great job. Inhale tall. Exhale, release around. Stretch out one leg, stretch out the other. I'm going to turn to show it. Just stretch out your legs. Again, if we take the hands next to us or behind us, I need you to squeeze the shoulders together so we stay tall, and then shake out your legs. And you can still be sitting on that cushion and just shake out your legs a couple times. I like this for the hips. Okay, now your best posture coming down. First, let's make sure we have the strap. Make sure the strap is close by. If you need something for Shavasana, like socks or a blanket, you could have that also close by. Okay, I'm just going to move mine out of the way. So then you'll have the strap with you. You're going to get ready to come down to your back. Your best posture, especially with osteopenia and osteoporosis. Sit on your hips, sit on your side, lay to your side. So this is how we go down with a long spine. You lay to your side, then roll to your back. Settle on your back. Knees can stay bent. For most of us, that's the best thing to relax the back in this start. Shoulders are on your back. Find a place where you pause. Walk your feet in close to your hips. So we want the heels to line up under the knees. If I go too far forward, it arches my back. If I go way too close and try to touch my glutes, you can see here that bend in my knees is too much. So you have to find that place where your heels are right under your knees. And then think about mountain pose. The feet just have a little space between them. Palms are down. We're going to move right into bridge. Now from here, don't turn your head. Engage navel. Inhale, lift your hips up. Interlace your hands underneath if you can. Squeeze hands together. Squeeze your hands towards your feet. I know some of you are working on that. Walk shoulders underneath your back. Don't turn your head. Push your feet down. Lift your hips. Good. Keep lifting the high point, the pubic bone. If I was there with you, if I had a string at your hips, I could lift it higher. Shoulders under. You're breathing deep. Release the hands. Shoulders to the ground first. Roll down, tailbone coming to the earth. Take a moment to pause. And I don't want you to arch your back. You can move your knees left and right just a little bit. This is not to lift up the low back and arch it. This is just to take a small movement to release the bridge. Okay, so we're like just a couple inches side to side. If we go too far, it just can pull on the back. Now from here, grabbing a hold of your strap. This is a pose Dr. Fishman taught can be pretty dangerous if you're lifting up your shoulders. I know you might move your head around some. You might lift your head to get your strap. Try to keep your shoulders glued down. So how he suggests we do this, so we're not crunching and putting weight on the front of the vertebrae here. Bend your right knee, bring it in towards the body, get it close, and then take your strap, keep shoulders down, and try to get it around that right foot. Then you want to still keep it pretty soft, so you're not putting a lot of weight on your spine, you're not lifting your shoulders. Keep it pretty soft as you straighten the right leg up. So the leg does the work. Your arms and shoulders don't have to do that work. Okay, first pose, you're opening the hamstrings, the back of the leg. The strap is just below the ball of the foot. Your elbows could be lifted up slightly, that's okay, or they can come all the way down to the earth. Shoulders definitely stay down. Lift the navel. Good. I say this every week. If you have low back pain, you keep your left knee bent. If you slide that left leg forward, it's because you have no back pain. Your arching of the back doesn't happen. Okay, now everybody's working to straighten that right leg as much as possible without locking. And also bringing the right leg towards your body without locking. Okay, now start to slide the right hand further down towards the right foot, but keeping that bony part of your shoulders on the ground. Left arm can be out to the left side, right leg out to the right, left knee out to the left. So this is called Supta Padangusthasana 2. Now your legs out to the side. Again, we're strengthening the legs a lot in these poses and the spine, especially when we're twisting. Good. Left leg stays active. You're not rolling over. Either that left leg is super long and you're pushing yourself to the ground, or you're like me here, left knee out to the left, right leg to the right. Relax shoulders. Inhale, let's come up. I want you to slide your hand down to the very end of the strap here. It gives you a lot of slack to release the leg without pulling on your spine, without crunching. Okay, the right foot comes down. And just take one side of the strap. That might be easier to slide it away, remove it out. Bend your left knee now. We want to bring it into the body. Keep your shoulders down. If your arms and head lift up a little bit, remember the best thing you can do is just keep this strap really loose because we don't want to start pulling on the strap. Shoulders come down first. Stretch your leg up. Then you could start to have a little pull on the strap. Okay, head relaxes, leg is long without locking it, shoulders are down, so your hands can work. Your shoulders don't have to work, your neck doesn't have to work. You have back pain ever recently at all, keep this right knee bent. Helps to stabilize your low back. If anybody's sliding that right leg forward, keep the leg active. Again, no pulling, no arching. With the left leg, that's where we're long. Keep stretching it out to be straight. And then bring the left leg towards your body. If you're ready for that, it comes closer to you. Left hand goes further down the foot, closer to the left leg. Right arm out to the right side. Navel to spine. Left leg out to the left, right knee to the right. Finding here your breath. Good. Wherever you are, you're keeping hips down, strong core. Finding your pose. We'll inhale to come up. Slide the hand again back towards your body, loosening the strap. You have a lot of slack now to keep shoulders down. Bring the foot down. Slide the strap away. Knees are bent. Shoulders melt to your back. Take your feet a little wider, side to the mat, Again, this is not to arch the back, but take a windshield wiper. So when your knees go one way, navel up and in. This is just a release here that I'm adding to the 12 poses. Knees to the side, navel up and in. Knees to the side, navel up and in. Not overarching your back. Really not even lifting the back off the mat. Just making this more about a hip release. Okay, now you made it to Shavasana. And you don't want to skip it. You did all these poses to build strength. It increases your heart rate. So Shavasana helps to calm down the nervous system. I'm going to indulge with you today. I'm going to practice it with you. If your knees stay bent, take the knees together, feet go wider. If you need a blanket, add a blanket. Blanket could be under the knees or over you to stay warm. If you have back pain, usually knees bent is going to be the best option. Also, we could stretch the legs out if you're ready for that. Shavasana, again, I'm going to say it all the time to you. It's best to practice it. Don't skip the pose because it calms down your nervous system after all this movement, after these poses. Calming down your body, relax your muscles. Wherever you are with your legs, relax your joints. Closing your eyes. Let your body become heavy. Completely soften. And come back to your breath. Allow your breath and your heartbeat to slow down. Feel the rhythm of your breath. Let it come and let it go. Let your body feel the effects of gravity. Noticing if you're holding tension. Can you soften? Relaxing your head. Smoothing your forehead. Let your jaw soften. And let your whole body melt. With each breath, we soften and surrender. Let yourself rest and breathe. Now very slowly deepen your inhale. And just take a couple slow, deep breaths. Wiggling slowly, fingers and toes, hands and feet. Starting to move your joints, maybe your head side to side. And then rolling to your side. So collect yourself, have a block, a pillow, arm under your head, maybe even just your hands laying on your side. And then we want to come up with a long spine, the same way we came down. So carefully push into your hands, come up nice and slow. We'll come back up to a seat. You can sit in your chair, sit with your blankets. Again, it's all about the spine. If it's rounded, if you feel that you lean forward or your hips get tight, sit up on a cushion, sit in the chair. And you would have the option to take some breathing or take some meditation here. Close the eyes. Lengthen tailbone to crown. And come back to your breath. Your hands can come to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Even if you're doing this practice on your own, you can find what resonates with you. What do you take with you off the mat? And keep your spine long. Try to only bow slightly at the head and a little bit the neck, bowing down to your own beautiful heart, to the life here in front of you, honoring and staying grateful for your life. Namaste. And thank you. I hope you have a good day.